Do we have your aid?
Whoosh.
What would you have us do? We can't take the dragon on.
Um, well, I was hoping to offer you as a human sacrifice to the dragon, but if that is out of question, uh,
That's convenient because I'm a tiefling.
if that is out of question, Castella Esabart, he is the dwarf in charge of our defenses. I'm sure he could have some work for you. Presuming he sends you beyond the walls, one request I would have: keep it quiet if you may. I would love to have the chance to interrogate one of these beasts, men, things, raiders myself. If you could bring one back, I would be greatly in your debt.
And if we can't,
If you
or
can't,
won't,
if you can't or won't, then feel free to kill them. But I would love to find out what they're doing here and why they're attacking us.
Well, we did hear one of them say something akin to raid the castle. If that wasn't obvious enough, as is.
Yeah, they were talking about looting.
Okay. So I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can imagine they'd want from us. We're just a farming village, but
Have you tried Google?
what are you keeping from us?
Yeah, time for insight checks.
Have you tried Googling for the answer?
what is this Google you speak of? Is this a deity? I'm not sure.
We're rolling for insight checks on what?
See if he's lying when he says he doesn't know. At least that's what I was rolling for.
Alright, so I mean, you guys could tell that he's definitely hiding something, but you can't tell if it's intentionally out of like a malice or if it's he doesn't trust you. Maybe he's not entirely sure what it is himself, but there's definitely something he's not telling you guys.
Ooh, I'll lean over to our tiefling and go, use strong language.
I'll lean on him a little bit and I'll be like, so, it feels like you're not telling us something. And I give him just like that kind of wicked grin where he's like, I'm not really sure what he's going to do next.
I'm just going to intimidate him, in a sense. Just like, walk up to him, you are on death's doorstep. Not all can turn away.
All right, so I mean, you can tell he's moderately afraid of the two of you. I mean, a tiefling who seems to have some magical abilities. I mean, he's watching some of your fights from the parapets, and a giant dude in suited armor. And so he kind of just nods and he goes, "We are not a wealthy village, but we."
But
But we have wealth in other means. We have wealth in artifacts. We have wealth in knowledge. But most importantly, we have a wealth in history. We worry that mayhaps these people are attacking us not for our monetary goods, but for what some of our townsfolk could tell them regarding dragons.
what is the history of dragons in this place?
Well, it's more so we had a monk visiting us who had studied dragons. He may still be around. I'm not sure what happened in the siege, but we're guessing based on the dragon working with these people that they want this monk.
Where is he? And I look around the keep, like, expecting him to be around there.
He was staying with, or he was staying in the tavern. I haven't seen him since the raids. I hope he made it to the keep, but I've been on the parapets aiding the scouts and the guards.
What's his name?
Things the DM should have looked up before we got to this point.
Meanwhile, I'm just going to ask him intimidatedly, were you a monk?
He just kind of looks at you, looks down at his moderate beer belly. He's like, "Do I look like a monk?"
You remind me of a man named Tuck.
Well, I do like to fry things, if that's what you're asking. So many appendixes.
Appendices.
So many appendices.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
That and math.
Yep.
I am way past the appendices. That would explain it. Leosin Erlenthar was the monk's name.
I feel like I'd be beating the dead horse by asking the boy how you spell that, but
The boy just kind of looks at you with chagrin.
Oh, that's just...
Why would you beat a dead horse? He asks. That sounds cruel.
I look at him and just
ask me
say,
one more time and I'm going to beat you.
I look at him and just say, yeah, that's the fun of it.
The boy kind of whimpers and stands off in a corner.
I'll go over and just be like, look at the flame, look at the flame. It's hopping around. Everything's okay.
The boy screams in terror as the flame reminds him of all the flames in the village below.
Wait, why does the
Oops,
flame
too
look
soon.
like a dragon? Oh, I'm sorry.
So, the governor kind of comes back and goes, so do we have your assistance? Will you help us?
Sure.
Define help.
Will you seek the dwarf and see what you can do?
Yes.
Yep.
Remember that one time we just spent like 30 minutes dialoguing in the map view because I forgot to switch back to the party camera? Awesome. That means nothing for you guys. Like, anyone watching the VODs will be like, yeah, that guy's an idiot. So you guys, you kind of agree. Is there anything else you wish to ask the governor before you return down to the keep?
Like out there, is there anything else besides finding captive?
Yeah.
I want to be like, oh, let's just go out there again. Let's just go out there again.
Can we ask him for anything that will help us aid him in his quest?
He kind of looks about, and he goes, what we have is what we can find. We don't have a lot. We weren't planning on being attacked. This wasn't on our schedule by any means. They've burnt and pillaged greatly.
What is the urgency of this?
There's a dragon.
And I'm going to take a long rest.
This governor seems to have a bit of an attitude problem.
He kind of says, you can ask the Red, our dwarven friend, what he can spare, but I don't know. I don't know what he has left.
I require 4 skins of ale and a cleric to come with.
He kind of laughs and just says, good for you. Tell that to the Red.
Yeah. Oh.
No one actually said anything. Everyone at home is so
we all just tried to ignore it.
Meanwhile, the stream is just like, well, there's that guy.
Alright, so the child, he kind of motions you guys to follow him back into the keep. And so eventually, you work your way down to the keep. It's not hard to find the dwarf. He's standing on top a bunch of barrels, flaming red hair, kind of giving directions. So-and-so fetches this, you go, tell the scouts that, check the defenses on the southern walls. So as you approach him, he clearly sees you and just kind of motions towards you to approach.
Okay. I approach him and I use my deception skill to tell him that the governor told us to get from him the best masterwork rapier he has.
Give me a deception roll.
All right.
You mean not dark vision?
Oh,
Too
Hey-o.
soon. Too soon.
20 plus my deception is 4. Well,
Dash before the roll might help.
If
Yeah.
he fails to roll, does that mean he fails the roll?
New rule, right?
boom.
All right, so you approach the dwarf and he kind of is like, "What can I do you for?" And you're just like, "The governor told us that you want to give us some really fine rapiers, you know,
What?
Or weaponry.
weaponry."
Yeah.
And the dwarf just breaks out laughing. And he goes, "I presume you be joking me, my friend."
But I was really good at deceiving you.
And I just sternly say, no.
You were deceiving me? Is that
Then
what-
we need
is that
4
what-
skins of ale.
It's too late.
Yeah, it is.
He kind of just looks down at you, and he goes, "I'll tell you what we can do. We can give you, we can give you some healing. We got some clerics that can help you out in that regard. But if you're willing to help, we got some great tasks that we could use your assistance in."
Good luck.
I will say I would be happy to help you. Do you happen to have any potions of healing? We seem to be light on that in our group.
There you go.
He kind of looks about for a specific cleric, and he points to a much older cleric in robes, no armor, and he just says, "That man may be able to help you. He was head of the temple, and he would be the one that would have them if anyone did."
Okay. What about arrows? Do you have much in the way of arrows?
I perk up at this.
Most of the wall has taken the arrows as they've been attempting to fend off the dragon, but also trying to pick off some of the kobolds that come too close. Perhaps we could spare a handful or two.
I look around at my group and say, what about upgrades in armor? Do you have anything better than what we currently have?
Again, he kind of laughs, and he's like, "Do you think this is an armor store? This is a keep. This is where people go to hide from intruders, not to sell fancy armor."
Okay. Is there any place in town where you would have kept better armory or what have you?
That might not have been burned down.
It wasn't burned down.
I can't tell you what has or hasn't been burned, because
So what can you tell us?
I can tell you what I know, and I can tell you that soon they will burn
Seems
the
to be a
mill,
lot right now.
which is bad. I would love them to not burn the mill. They are attacking a temple. Maybe there are potions in the temple if you were to go look there. In other words,
What is this temple?
there is a temple in the eastern side of town.
To whom?
I can tell you.
At a great weight, I assume.
It is a temple, very great weight. It is a temple to Shantao. Some people barricaded themselves within the temple.
Bless you.
It is a stone building, so it's not burnable. But there is rumors that they had found means to build a battering ram, probably cutting down one of the trees. And if they can break into the temple, all the people will be lost. There is no second exit.
Tell us about the mill.
The mill, that'd be on the western side of town. On the other area, that's all of our foodstuffs is stored at the mill. The governor earlier scouted that some of the kobolds were headed that way with torches. I presume they are to burn it. If they do, we will have no foodstuffs to last the winter.
What other fortifications?
How long would it be for both of these places? Do we have time to get to both of them, or would we have to split up in order to save both?
The temple is no more than probably a 15-minute walk or jog. The mill is maybe another 15, but it's in the other direction. As far as who... I don't know what the progress is on the battery ram. I don't know how successful they are at burning the mill. I just know that these are areas the governor scouted from the parapets.
So my thoughts are needs of the many over needs of the few in this case. The mill is gonna...
Well, before we even go anywhere with that, forget the winter. How are we going to survive? How's the keep going to survive this dragon?
The fortifications.
What kind of fortifications can we provide against the dragon?
We have a few men. We don't have any soldiers. Our soldiers all died in the initial skirmish. When the raiders attacked, we thought we could push them back, and their numbers greatly overwhelmed ours. It didn't help us that they have a dragon. But we have some townsfolk who know how to use arrows and bow, and they are mounted atop the walls, prepared to shoot the dragon if it comes close enough, which it has not yet done. It just continually flies about the town. There are a few others with spears at the gates, so if they manage to get too close to the gates, we can hopefully do some damage to them that way.
How long have you been under attack?
Since sunrise.
All right, I move to go over and talk to the cleric in the robes. And I ask him, it looks like we're going to be helping you rid the town of some of this kobold vermin. Are there any potions you could help us out with in our journey to help you? Healing potions specifically, but any other potions would do as well.
Potions are not something that one just happens upon. They are not cheap. They are not common. If I were to be handing them to people, it would be people I know have the town's best interest at heart. What is it you plan on doing that would require the need of such potions?
We plan on helping the, the church full of people?
The Temple of Shanto.
Yes, the Temple of Shanto. We would like to rid the vermin from there.
I know the temple well. That is my personal parish. I would greatly aid you in that regard. He kind of looks over and he motions another cleric to come over, and they talk in hushed whispers, and then finally he hands you 2 potions of healing.
Excellent. I pocket both of them. Who needs healing?
I already got healed. I got
healed. All right.
Keep this with us, and we'll.
Yeah. I give one to Aranor Silverthorn, who also help out heal. Actually, no, he can heal. I give one to someone who needs healing but is usually off on their own. Vendetta, you're usually in the mix. I give one to Vendetta.
Okay, I'll take it.
And then I hold on to one myself.
Okay. As you guys are kind of standing there, the dwarf kind of hops off of the barrels and settles up behind you. And he goes, "So, are you helping us then? Are you going to aid us in these needs?"
We are absolutely going to help the town. At least I am. Anyone else? And I motion to the group.
And I nod.
I give him one of these.
He kind of looks about at each of you in turn, and he notices that Rychik is less excited about this quest than the rest of you.
It's not the only one.
I motion to Rychik and I say, sure, it's a temple of a god. However, there's killing involved. That seemed to inspire you earlier.
I will aid the mill.
And we're splitting the party already.
I turn around to the cleric and the dwarf and I say, how's about we look at the mill first and then we go to the temple?
The cleric, he's clearly slightly disappointed, but he doesn't want to anger you. He goes, as long as you find it within yourselves to aid the temple, I will be forever in your debt. But the mill is necessary for our survival as well.
I think we got to get past tonight, so I think we do the mill tonight, or we do the mill later.
I didn't think we were doing any more fighting tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying.
Oh,
Tonight,
okay.
in game.
Thing
In,
is,
in game
yeah,
night, not
Yeah.
out of game.
Oh, in-game night. Yes.
yeah.
Well, if you think about it, if you free the people from the temple, that's more mouths to feed, and the
You
mill
could
would be
potentially
more.
have more clerics or something, though, who could summon
Ooh.
or purify water or stuff like that.
That's a fair point.
And heal us.
Well, let's deal with the mill for now because we have
Wink.
intergroup issues.
I will not aid this temple.
I set Rychik on fire. I don't. I'm kidding. I'm a trickster.
So, what about this for a plan? We bring as much fire to bear on that battering ram as possible, and then run over to the mill. Try and delay the temple as best as we can by destroying the battering ram. Kind of hit and run, and then run.
That'd work. What you say, Rychik?
I'll make my way towards the mill. You can do what you want to the battering ram.
Classic paladin.
All right, Escobar, he kind of is shifting his weight back and forth, and finally he goes, I'll leave you to decide where you go and how you do what you do. But I will tell you this, the gate is hopeless. If you go through the gate, you will die. However, there is a hidden tunnel. I don't think it has ever been used. It was made so if we ever had to escape from the city, we could do that. We do not wish to escape yet. We think we can still hold the keep, but it may be of means for you to exit the keep and get back in without being noticed.
What's wrong with the gate?
It is surrounded by kobolds and cultists.
Yeah.
Kill them all!
It's as if Cthulhu's going to be here.
Well, he has been casting Eldritch Blast, so...
And I gave my Gug a hug today.
So he kind of motions to a far corner where there's a bunch of crates stacked. He says, behind those crates there's a door in the floor that you can use to get to the tunnel. The tunnel will lead you to the stream. If you head east on the stream, you'll find the temple. If you head west, you'll find the mill.
All right.
And he will leave you guys to debate how you'll respond. But right now, I feel that is a fantastic stopping point, especially as it happens to fall right at 11:30.